So he was a big driving force behind it. So I mean, I owe a lot to him, like for
Well, know what
keeping
I'm.
me.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
No, go ahead.
I'm like word vomiting. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No,
Sorry.
no. We talk about passions in this house, lady.
That's right. For those of you just joining, welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and talk about gaming-related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm Luminary, and I'm accompanied today by my co-hosts, the Nordic Cajun,
What's good?
the Eternal Barcode Imee,
Hello, I am a barcode. I am eating all your bandwidth. That's why everything is broken in your house.
and the star of the Codpast,
The Cod Pass, I love it.
Raina, the
change the
Crit Chicken.
UDP
Hello.
podcast.
I'm here to break other things like the internet.
Nord, apparently.
I have broken the Nordic Cajun today.
Game has
Glorious.
Before we
Show
go
hasn't
any
even
further,
started yet.
Imee, if you could go over the terms of use for that particular cameo before I start posting it anywhere, that'd be great. I know that it's commissioned and whatnot, but I don't know what the license rights are like.
Yeah, if someone can send me the end user license agreement, I will go read that.
Great. Can
And
you
also, while I go read the end user license agreement and licensing agreement information stuffs later, I would like to just take this moment to remind everybody that 10% of all donations and monetary stuff we get from the show is donated to the Trevor Project because they are fantastic. Ping, our wonderful mascot, has some more information. Hopefully he is not sleeping from the recent destruction of Twitch.
Bring the pingu.
I've hit enter. Maybe it'll work. It looks like it's
working.
working.
Organization working to end LGBTQ youth
Here's the toss.
suicide in the US and beyond. The non-profit operates several programs to help prevent and respond to the public health crisis of LGBTQ youth suicide, including 24/7 free crisis services, research, advocacy, education, and peer support.
As a reminder, our opinions are completely our own, do not represent the organizations that we work for, also known as We're Poor, Please Don't Sue Us.
If you try, the most you're going to get is maple syrup flung in your face. So fuck her off.
From Canada.
Yeah. I will whip a can or even a glass jar of maple syrup. Like some people whip sandals at their children as discipline tools. You will get the maple syrup in a can, just like some people whip fucking sandals.
I'm going to
Boom,
throw
right
the
between the eyes.
Canadian conflict.
I wonder if Imee packs maple syrup like rednecks pack Copenhagen.
Or Americans pack weapons. Yeah. I am packing maple syrup at all fucking times.
Behind every blade of glass, sir.
Anyway,
Please read these terms carefully.
the last time we tried to do this, we got to episode 62.5, which was all pre-show and full of shenanigans with Kerbal Space Program and failing art programs and tablets.
And computers blowing up. Yes, I recall this situation. The dark times.
But we finally made it to 63. We have a 3 in our episodes, unlike Valve, who can't count to 3 for anything.
What's a Half-Life 3? I don't know. They won't fucking release it.
Hey, everybody talks about Half-Life 3, but nobody ever talks about Team Fortress 3.
Oof.
Oh,
So if you have a hat that is so exclusive for TF2, you have to have bought the game in order to get that hat.
Oh wow.
Lumi is out here spitting the truth.
If you bought the game way back in the day and you played it before it went free to play, you get a very special hat that nobody else can get, and it is actually called the proof of purchase. It looks like one of those old tin hats that World War I guys would wear and World War II guys would wear. It's those it's an army hat. It's a tin hat, and it said the flavor text is from another era.
That's awesome.
Just like I also have the Cheater's Lament, because I didn't fucking cheat to get hats.
He got his own damn hats, people.
Cheater's Lament. Though some would stop at nothing to achieve hats, you remained resolute and incorruptible in your quest for head decorations. For that, you have been rewarded. I see you sent me the terms of service. I will read those and figure out what we can do with that.
Definitely. If you can link Adam Merrill's cameo page, that would probably be helpful too. There might be some special things there, depending on.
Yeah, I got both of those here. I'll have a look at them after the show.
Get as much attention to this man.
Oh God, ICQ. Thankfully, you don't exist anymore, but that came through very loud.
All right, so let's talk about what's going on. It's been 2 weeks. We kind of picked out stuff from this week. We had some really cool stuff from last week, but we'll go with what's going on this week. So 7 Days to Die is finally coming out of early access.
Yay!
And it's funny.
How many years? How
12.
long has it been in pre?
12.
That's it. Hey. 12 years, sure, but they have a finished product.
Yes.
You know, that's true.
100% legit. I am quite pleased with that. About 2 years ago, I was wondering if it ever would come out of early access, but I don't care that it's been 12 years. The amount of work they have put into that game and the amount of new features they put into that thing, I lost track. I think I stopped playing that game with friends roughly around the same time that they introduced power to the game and solar panels. Because I did, and unfortunately Bomb Redeemer's not in the chat right now. However, he understands what happens when I get cut loose with solar panels and power. I go absolutely batshit crazy and make the largest solar farm I can.
I saw what you did in Stationeers, and it is terrifying.
Yeah, he got a warning from his game host. Because he was paying for 8 gigs of RAM for the Stationeers server. The solar panel, I didn't even have the solar farm completed. It was supposed to be 256 by 256. I had it up to 120 by 120, and he was using 12 gigs of RAM instead of the 8 he was paying for.
So they were like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
And anytime you got near it, the RAM would spike up because I also had it hooked up to a logic processing setup that would actually look at the amount of ticks in the server and the angle of the sun to figure out where the solar panels needed to be aimed. So every tick, it would move the solar panels so they were continually tracking the sun. And apparently when you start using over 100 panels, that gets really expensive in resources. Oopsies.
Go green, guys. Go green.
Jeez, that's insane.
Nord. He responded to me saying that, yeah, it's up now. Wow, that's a crazy amount of dog hair. If you need a redo, I understand. I said, no, it's good.
It is perfect. Tell him the Nordic Cajun gives him the giant thumbs up of approval.
you could also just say it yourself. Like you can add him.
Yes.
Where? I've already followed him. I guess I can hit him up.
Yeah, just be like, hey, I loved my song, thank you, or whatever it is, in the most Cajun way you can possibly think of doing it.
I'm going to Roger that right now. So see if it'll allow me to message him directly.
So yeah, 7 Days to Die coming out. I remember picking that up and thinking, oh, it's just another zombie thing. It was fun for what it was. When I first came into early access, back when Greenlight was a thing. And I'm glad it's finally coming out. It may be worth actually playing. Do you have a copy of that, Cajun? Because it's old enough, you might.
What's it called again? The 7 Days?
7 Days to Die.
I want to say yes. I can open up my stream right now. I'm about 95% sure I have a copy, yes.
Yeah, because it sounds like, looking at this article from PC Gamer, they said that they finally added in vehicles and what was it? Let's see here. We'll launch with a new zombie gore system, remade vehicle assets, a new challenge system, and more zombie variants, updated controller support, and more. So it might be worth making an ordinary night, week, or a day or something, either this week or next week.
I am down for an ordinary zombie night. I am down with that.
Mm-hmm. So that's cool. Speaking of games in early access, Palworld. Yeah, and this one's been talked about for a while now. Surprisingly jazzed about big budget clones of the game that they're in the works, and I have to say, announcing it that way, because they did something that nobody else would do, because people were still sticking to the formula, which is to push out as much garbage as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That is the life and times we live in.
Yeah, pretty much. They produce the minimum viable product and they stuff it down your throat. But I mean, if you think about what Palworld has done, number one, they've got the creature collector, the gotcha, right? Yep. They have open world adventure, right? And I think when we were playing Palworld, I did not have a dull moment. Right? There was always something to do.
It's something to do, something to go collect, something to build, something to catch shinies.
Yeah. Something to murder, you mean? Not catch?
Oh well,
Well,
Something to enslave.
there you go.
yes.
I mean,
Yes.
we never did anything like hang it upside down and put a campfire under it or anything. But
Oh,
we,
well, then you're not trying hard enough.
Wait. I came close.
I think
I made the fake one. I made the fake penguin, put it at the beginning of the camp. It's all tied up. I have a fire in front of it, and then I have a sign next to it that says, "This could be you. Keep working." I knew Ami would be proud.
There you go.
I am very proud of that. That is horrendously horrifying, and I fucking love it.
I did it. I had to channel my inner Barco for that one. 'Cause
Absolutely.
y'all know I usually hit the chaotic good on the scale. I had to go a little bit chaotic neutral on that one.
To
Not
go
quite evil. Not quite evil.
full-blown evil like that is amazing.
No. It wasn't pure evil. I didn't have an actual pal hanging upside down. I had a stuffed.
Well, I mean, you were close. You failed a little bit, but you did come pretty close. So I'll give you that one.
I failed successfully.
There you go.
Ask failed successfully. God damn it.
Yeah, I think the highlight of my time playing Palworld is when the Mamarest came over and jumped up and down on me, and the entire base lit on fire. Like, it was bad. It was so bad. It was so loud. Cajun was out doing his Cajun thing, and I was like, "Oh, we're fighting now."
I'm coming. I'm across the map, and he's fighting the freaking raid boss of the area. And somehow we beat it. Somehow we kicked his ass.
Oh no, that wasn't the raid boss. That was just the regular one.
No, I mean like the big elephant.
Yeah, that's the
first
regular
spawn area.
one.
I call him the raid boss. The dude, not it was before the raid boss became the raid boss. I'm talking about you piss him off, he'll destroy your whole camp, elephant. And I'm literally on the other side of the map, and I'm like, uh-oh. You didn't even do it on purpose. One of your pals happened to step on his big toe, and he got pissed.
Yeah. So
they already came out with a bunch of new stuff since it. They have the raid boss. They have new pals they're introducing every week. They're getting ready for PvP. And when next time you get a chance, Lemmy, look at the map. We haven't even gotten close to where the big ass tree is yet. The whole point of the little first thing you see when you load into the game.
right.
There's areas around the tree. This is going to be a huge fucking game when they're done with it.
Yep, I'm looking forward to seeing it. That's for sure.
Because we're still in the pregame.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be I can't wait. And is it weird that one of my favorite things was watching Raina build the base?
Oh, that was great,
Dude. Like
Raina
she
did such a
got
good
in
job.
there and she said, "All right, boys, y'all go do y'all thing. I got works to do." And I loved every second of it.
Yep.
Loved it.
And that was when, like, here, I remember. Yeah, I know. Like, even our fence. I remember our fence catching on fire, and it just took down all the barricades. It was a fun time. But as far as this is concerned, I'm actually kind of excited that businesses are stepping out and trying to create something as grand and vast as that. Especially since it came from a company that was just like, we don't know anything about Unreal Engine, and we got one guy that does, and we're just going to try to figure it out. When they were using Craftopia and I think assets from the Unity store or something like that, I think is what they were doing. So it's a definite turnaround. I'm happy to see more cool stuff like that happen, but I'm hoping they're not going to do like a direct clone, where it's just like and just like cheapen the whole value. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing: the fact that the CEO is so excited that people are trying to make spinoffs and cheap knockoffs of his game, the fact that he's excited about that shows you he's in it for the passion. Because there's so many people out there that just want to whine and complain when people like make a clone of this or make a game too close to this. Looking at you, Roblox, and they're all millions of copies of each other inside y'all's game that my son loves to play. It just to see a creator who had just a small little team, came from nothing, and built such a great game from the ground up, and is excited that people are trying to copy him. He's arrived. He's arrived at game creation. Like he's at the pinnacle now. All he can do is continue getting better from there. He's gonna use that fuel to continue to build Palworld and other games up beyond that. So good on him.
Yeah.
Love it.
Definitely. So we'll see how that turns out. Crit, have you played Palworld since the last time? Since the last time we played together, or has it fallen by the wayside?
Wayside.
Yeah, same.
They were right. I got lazy.
Yeah, we had to, we literally just left your base where it was and went and go build a new base so we wouldn't fuck your stuff up.
Yeah, we did. We were like,
we unlocked the second base and said, okay, when Crit comes back, that could be hers, and this monstrosity down here would be me and Loomies.
Lol.
and we're gonna come back, and Chris is gonna have a fucking castle. I'm like, are we allowed in? No.
Well, have you seen? Well, Crit was posting up a lot of the stuff from her game, and she was actually building in stone and whatnot, and it looked really good.
Yes, that was some amazing work.
And I was getting into metal too, but it's just like I got frustrated. Even I need to start playing it again. I'm not gonna lie. I think even
we're here.
I know.
I may or may not have acquired the game to help her out and help prevent her from getting overrun by everything, because at least there's something for it to stomp on, and that would be me.
Well, he saw my base get raided and raided and raided and raided and raided, and like, you know, kind of like the Brack thing where it's like
sorry,
it's frustrating after a while.
I'm writing a novel to our boy. I can't. He doesn't accept messages. I'm doing it on Twitter. I'm going the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, that's fine. More exposure publicly is probably for the best anyway. But yeah, no, it's fun times. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with. Speaking of game developers, it seems like the FTC has agreed that non-competes are not okay. I don't understand. I've never had to sign a non-compete at all, so I've never had to worry about leaving someplace and going somewhere else with the knowledge I have from the previous company, because that's just what you do. So I think for system developers and things like that, that's going to be a huge boon, because now there's no wait period of like 6 months or a year or whatever is inside of the clause.
I've seen upwards of 3 years in one case before you were allowed to get another job in the industry from one software dev company. I can't remember if it was a game or software dev, but it was, you cannot have a career in this industry for 3 goddamn years after you stop employment with us. It's like, that is not right, and fuck you to the ends of the earth.
Yeah.
Thank God that's gone now. That is such trash.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let me tell you how I really feel in just a moment here.
Okay.
I think the best description I saw of it, the whole non-compete shit, was a cheap and immoral way to keep the talent working for you.
Yeah, it's a way of restricting people so they can't go anywhere, so you keep them out of necessity, and the employee doesn't get a chance to grow. Because if you think about it, especially in the game dev world with everything changing the way it is, not like Lumi's job or my job where they're fairly stable, the gaming world is constantly evolving, and to maintain your skill level, you do have to move on. There comes a point in time where you can look at what you're doing and say, you know what, I'm not getting anything out of this anymore. Professionally, I need to move somewhere else. And the only way to do that is to quit and go. But when you have these stupid clauses that say, man, I don't want you to go because then I'm going to lose my talent, or you might talk about the game you were working on. You know what? There's nothing in game dev that is so secretive that you need to not let your employees leave. Like,
no,
it's just rude, and it's just shitty behavior when you treat people like that.
Say, how about this? How about you just pay your fucking talent?
Well, that requires you pay money, sir.
You
should be so happy you can work for that company.
I said what I said with my whole ass titty. They should pay their talent.
You should be so happy.
And speaking of paying your talent, I think one of the CEOs, who was it? Let me see here. I have it up here.
It was Mike Ybarra, the former CEO of Blizzard.
Yeah,
he's like, I think that we should be able to tip people. No, and I fucking hate this. Okay, and so I kind of before you go off the deep end.
I need another drink. You keep talking.
Hold on, before you go off the deep end. Here's what he was saying specifically, because he did say he wish he could tip people, but the context is important. I'll wait for him to get back because he ran away. No, we're gonna wait because this is a funny ass thing, and and I'll be honest, I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I disagree with what it could turn into. And I will wait. I can see Nordic is making his way back to the office. He is shuffling, drink in hand. He is now sitting down. Okay, good. All right. So,
all right, go ahead.
What the context was?
Wait, one more time. Sorry, ASMR. All right, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So, Mike's context, and this is what's really important. The context of what he said was that, have you ever played a game that was so good, you watch the end credits and you're like, I wish there was something else I could do. I've already bought the game. There's, whatever DLC or no DLC. I've watched the credits, which is always something you should do when you finish a game, is watch the credits.
Agreed.
But when you've done all that, what is there left to do to say, hey, thanks for making a kick-ass game? That's the context. The context was that, hey, I want to give you, like, the development team money or a tip because holy shit, this game was amazing. And I can respect that because some games are so good. And I've felt that way about a few games where it's like, okay, it's over, but holy shit, this was amazing. And I respect that in that context. My personal fear, is that it would turn into another way of dropping employee pay in favor of, oh, well, you get tip money, so who cares? Because I look at the tip industry in Canada, and it's not nearly as bad as it is in the US. In the US, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe, the restaurant industry can still, in some states, still be paid around $3 an hour?
$2.18 in Louisiana.
Oh, there you go. So you can make legally $2.18 an hour, and now you have to depend on tips to survive. That's my fear, is that you would find a situation where maybe not that extreme where you're going down to server pay, but you're going down in pay because, oh, well, you can make up for it in tips. And I get the altruism of what he's saying. Like, there's got to be another way to compensate people who make such a great game. And I totally understand that. You know what I do? I just send them emails. I send emails to the general, like, info or customer service email box, and I say, hey, can you pass on my thanks to everybody involved? This game has been phenomenal and amazing, and I really love it. That's one way you can do it. And like I said, just my fear is that it would be a way of suppressing wages.
Yep. That's the only reason why you would want to accept the tip culture or anything else other than the service industry is to garner wages and not pay.
And I think, honestly, the tip industry or the tip culture in food service has to go because it too often is a replacement for pay. Mm-hmm. And whether it's individual tips or tip sharing, it doesn't matter because you're finding a way of suppressing wages because, oh, you get a tip.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it. I hate it so much.
And there's so many other countries out there. There's so many other countries out there that don't allow it. Like Japan,
and like
Japan, it is an insult to tip somebody in Japan.
Yeah, and in some European countries, they look at you weird, like, why would you want to give me extra money? Because they get paid well enough to not need it.
Yeah, when Joyce and I went to Scotland, there was never an option to tip. We had to physically go up there and say, hey, we would like to leave an extra tip. And they would allow us, but they would never have it to where it was mandatory on the bill.
Yeah.
Whereas on American fucking tickets everywhere, it automatically gives you the 18, the 16, the 18, and the 20% option.
Oh, no. When I was in Florida with Raina, I saw as a minimum 20 and as high as 30%. Now, my problem with that is, A, what if I only want to give a 10% tip because it's not that worth it? And B, what you're telling me when you have automatic tip amounts at preset at 10, was it 20, 25, and 30%? That means you're paying your staff. To me, that means you're paying your staff so little that they're depending on that extra income.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is trash.
Yep.
Like, pay your fucking staff.
The tips should be lanyap. And if for people who don't understand that means extra. It shouldn't be, you have to be.
It shouldn't be
to live.
Exactly. Like, you shouldn't have to receive a tip just to survive.
No.
Like, a tip should be. So when I, like, we'll sidetrack for a little moment here. When I was working at the gas station about 600 years ago, I think that sounds about right. I checked the tire pressure on some old guy's car. This dude was like 90, still driving, and I was like, okay, good reflexes, so it wasn't too scary. But I checked the tire pressure. It took me all of like 5 seconds. It was all good, and then he handed me a $5 bill. I'm like, why? He's like, well, you deserve it. I'm like, for doing my job? Question mark? Like, it just made no sense. But holy shit, like, I don't want to see it in games. I really don't want to see it in games.
No, because you know how a lot of these people Square Enix, Ubisoft, yada yada yada, will put these as like microtransactions within the game before you even hit the credits.
Oh, hey, let's take that a step back here for just a second. Let's consider for the fact of you're tipping the developers, right? And what context does developers mean? Does that mean the developing company? Does that mean the folks who worked on the project? That includes artists, the programmers, the systems programmers, the
sysadmins,
the sysadmins,
You know,
like
support
everybody who,
staff,
yeah,
you know good and well it's going to go in that CEO's back pocket.
the musicians.
and I'm afraid of that.
Well,
Or
even if it doesn't go into the CEO's back pocket, let's say somebody tips like $10. That's $10 across, however big the dev team is.
Yeah.
Right.
that's fractions of a penny. When you've got $10 and you decide to give it to 30 people, yeah, that's 30 cents if I did my math right.
Mhm.
It scares me that it could be abused as a way of suppressing pay. And that really does not sit well with me.
Well, the other part about it that actually kind of pisses me off about him saying it, I mean, not necessarily him in particular, but just it being said by a CEO is a fact. It's coming from somebody who gets multi-million-dollar bonuses.
Yes.
After a round of layoffs.
Or
Well,
before.
he's not at Blizzard anymore, but like he left years ago. But at the same time, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like a CEO saying people should be getting tipped to me says I don't want to pay people properly. I want them to rely on a tip culture that forces people to spend extra money. And I don't know if it was on the docket tonight, but speaking of spending extra money, holy shit snacks. Have you guys seen what is going on with Star Citizen?
No, I have not, and I'm willing to listen because I didn't pull anything out this week for Star Citizen. So go ahead. I bet you we have opinions.
So Star Citizen has more transactions in its storefront than it does video game. Okay, you can go to the store page, like you can go to the Star Citizen page. You can see that the game is there. Whoop-de-doo. They've got metric tons of monetization. You can buy all kinds of ships. You can buy all kinds of additional ships and add-ons to those ships. But here's the thing. The most expensive thing on the front-facing store page is like $2,500. Now, that's just the front-facing page.
Wait. Rewind 5 seconds. Say that price again?
Yeah, I think I'm just pulling it up right now. I think it is about $2,500 for the most expensive thing.
Because
hold
I
on.
know a buddy. While you're looking it up, I know a buddy of mine was him and his brother were like circle jerking about Citizens, and
Yes.
like
A
even
lot
like
of people have.
before the pre-alpha, they were dumping money into this game for these pre-order ships and stuff.
Yes. So this is the game packages. The most expensive game package is the UEE Exploration Pack, which is $1,100. Now,
God.
the first package is the Aurora MR Starter Pack, and here's the other thing. These are ships, right? These are digital goods.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck does the store page say they're in stock?
Ooh.
That's abusing fear of missing out, or FOMO.
That FOMO hits hard with that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, when you say something is in stock, you're implying, like the Blizzard store for mounts, that it's not going to be there forever. And this, to me, is abusive, because right here, $1,100. And that's not even just the ship packs. There's the ship packs themselves are insane. Like it's gross, but it gets even worse. Believe it or not.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, it's shittier. It gets worse. So that's the front-facing page where it's $1,100. Now, say you want to spend a little extra something.
No. No. You're
Yeah.
making me pay $1,100 to begin with, first of all.
Oh, but if you go to starcitizen.tools, that's the wiki. The wiki even tells you, and on the Star Citizen page, on the Star Citizen's main page, that's robertspaceindustriescom, if you go there, there's a page that tells you that if you spend more than $10,000, you unlock a new store page. It's a whale page.
$10,000 to unlock another shop?
Yeah. $10,000 of in-game pixels that are in stock, and now you can get yourself another whale page. The whale page, most expensive item. Yeah.
Had
The most expensive thing so far documented on the wiki. Apparently the wiki has not been updated this month yet, but there are screenshots floating around from people, from legit people, and there was somebody discussing it in a Twitch stream not too long ago. One of the members of that stream actually said, they've spent 10 grand on the game, and we spend your money how you want, but that whale page is definitely there. And the most expensive thing on that page is $48,000
for
a shit ton of content, but that is 10% down payment on a $480,000 house.
I can think of 500,226,642 things I can spend half of that on, and not on a digital spaceship that I will probably never play.
Yeah.
So
it is broken. And to me, the fact that you're willing to allow people to spend that kind of money tells me you just want cash and you have no real intent of building up a proper game. It's disgusting. Like this game is not a game. It's just a storefront. And you can't even call it microtransactions. These are macro transactions at this point.
There is no micro with that, yeah. Like, what do you even do in that game other than just getting a ship?
I don't know. Apparently, you spend down payments on a house. And admittedly, I was looking at, what was it, r/credit cards, because it was brought to my attention that someone posted in Am I the Asshole?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. And the long and short of it is this person who absolutely has an addictions issue and absolutely requires professional help spent all the saved money that he and his partner had saved, didn't tell them until it was all gone because they were buying stuff for Star Citizen, and then went and told them. They had a big fight. They tried to work it out while they were on the recovery track to not spend any more money. They went and spent even more. And I followed this user's posts, and to say they're in substantial credit card debt is an understatement. What they posted in r/credit cards was insane. The dollar value they put up there.
All I can hear now is Peter goes, "I'm in $30,000 of credit card debt.
Yeah,
I ain't got no plan to pay back yet."
Yeah, no, like this game is gross. This game should not exist, in my opinion, because you are, and especially with the whole telling people that it's in stock. I understand giving like a 10% discount, whatever, but the shit that is in stock right now, that's gross. Because now you're preying on people to try and buy it before they run out of, before the fear of missing out hits them too hard. It's horrendous. Like, this game is not right in the head. Who spends... And like I said, on the wiki officially, it's only got 42,000, but on the whale page, it's got one item for 48,000. And I had the page earlier on my phone, and I can't find it on my browser because amazing. But either way, holy Christ! Why would you ever spend that much money on a video game?
To be completely honest, this makes people like Ubisoft, Square Enix, and even Blizzard look like saints.
Absolutely. It is that gross right now.
Some people throw down tens to $100 for mounts in World of Warcraft. These people are putting down C notes for a digital spaceship.
So admittedly, in Star Trek Online and in WoW, between the two of them, I've probably spent around $500 on stuff. I paid for an entire expansion for Star Trek Online, and expansions in STO are basically just a ton of ships. And I wanted to play a different race, and you could only get the race if you bought the expansion. So I understood what I was getting myself into when I bought that. And I've bought a bunch of mounts from the WoW store, but I think total it's under $500. And that includes a lifetime subscription to STO, which is $200. So like $300 on the game. And
You see, I was gonna say something that kind of like almost came across as judgmental, but then I think back about how much money I put into League of Legends for skins that don't actually.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I have no room.
not to drag my friend's child under the truck, but I will.
Actually,
he has spent thousands of dollars on League of Legends crap, and these are the targets.
Mm-hmm.
Those kinds of people who are easily compelled to buy stuff because they don't have self-control, and that is insanely dangerous. And this company seems to not give a flying fuck because what they're trying to do is get you to spend money. It's gross.
I'm actually logging into my account because there's a way you can actually go in there. It actually has a section that says "Show me the money." That should show you how much you actually spent on.
Oh, here we go.
So I'm about to
yeah,
show.
The Star Citizen page has a list of ship packages. I'll link it in chat, but it is disgusting. I finally did find it. It's difficult to get to, but holy shit. It is not right. And then there's an add-on. So not only do they have the original ship packages, and this one tier for the $42,000 has got to have like 300 ships in there. I'm not counting that high. But then they have add-on packages starting at $780 or $700 US. Oh no, I lied. Apparently there's some $300 range, $200 range ones, but $1,500, $4,600 for add-ons. Add-ons. So you spend your $48,000, then you spend another $7,000 on add-ons. What in the fuck, game? Like, you're making all loot boxes and gambling in video games look tame compared to this bullshit.
What's interesting about the whole thing is that I think they're trying to mirror what it's like buying a car, with add-ons and whatnot, and that's fine. But it's not really fine.
Pixels.
It is pixels. It's like anything. At least it's not blockchain pixels. Like, thankfully.
Oh God.
Yeah, and those pixels are only as good as long as the company's up, and they've been in development for the longest time. Speaking of, Cajun, just to kind of refresh what Idris Radio was.
Ooh, we're doing real throwbacks now.
Yeah, Idris Radio was a project by Burn the Bandhammer.
I love that name.
Yeah, he's on our server.
Love me some Burn.
He was our previous fearless leader when we were doing that. That's when he wanted to move on from Nordrizzle Radio and move to doing the you can see it, the best music radio station in all of Star Citizen, right? And that was his big thing. And I had to ask him one time, and why Idris? What's going on with Idris? And he was like, "Oh, it's this class of ship, and it's not on the store page anymore, but it was a capital ship, and it was a lot of money. It really was if you wanted to buy it out the gate. Mind you, I think that you can actually buy those ships in game, for game credits. Mind you, it's substantially more expensive that way. But if you want to start the game with a ship that is not a base ship, I think that's the way it goes. And I understand, at least from the folks who are playing Star Citizen right now, it seems pretty solid. It's gotten a lot better over the last few years with what you can interact with and whatnot. I remember when they released the garage, and that was the game. You can go walk around your ship. That was it. The footage I've seen, you can actually go inside of the ships, like everything's laid out, and it's fully rendered. It's actually kind of cool. And mind you, I'm not saying that what RSI or Star Citizen is doing is okay as far as like charging it a substantial amount for these items as impulse buys and then add-ons, but it is worth looking at to see what this final game is going to be like if it ever gets out of its own early access. I know it is the most successful crowd-funded game that has been crowdfunded. It's not the most successful crowd-funded game that's been released yet, But
It's funded by whales, I'm pretty sure.
oh yeah, well the scope of it whenever it was first released was huge, and I remember the head, I forgot his name. He was talking about because the guy who's spearheading this, he was the one that designed Wing Commander, right? Um, he was saying that what we're working on right now, the technology we currently have, is not going to be able to support what we're doing. And this was 10 years ago. And I think at this point today, it has become very apparent that the technology that we have now is certainly accelerating development and growth based on the amount of simulation that you have to do. Right. But yeah, no, like the whale page, I think is gross. I think it sucks that you have to spend X amount of money to access the VIP shop, and it's the only way I can think of calling it is a VIP shop. Hey, thanks for your continued patronage. Here's some more expensive stuff you can spend money on. Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of money, I was attempting to go look up how much I spent on League. They actually discontinued that tool. You can no longer look it up without opening a ticket, which is probably for the best.
Last time I looked before I stopped playing, it was about $3,600 for me.
That's about
For
where
League of Legends?
Yes.
Yeah, well, of course, I got badass skins for the characters I love to play, and
I think I bought 2 skins. One of them was a Heimerdinger skin.
Heimerdinger.
And one was the other dude who, what the fuck? He gets more powerful the more enemies that are around you or something. I don't fucking remember. He's got like a wizard hat.
Vigar?
Maybe? Send me a picture of what he looks like.
He's the one with the high pitched voice says, "Your commands tire me."
I have no clue. I always had it on mute.
Oh, you missed half the great stuff. Then I'll get you a picture. Hang on.
Vigar is so good. Yeah, no, I got.
Sounds familiar.
I only got skins for characters I gave a shit about, like when I went like AP attack speed Kale at that particular point, which just melted everyone. Like people walked up and I was attacking so fast with that fire, they melted.
It's still like that. Like
you can be a subscriber to this fucking game as well.
There is.
There you go, Limey. It's in our chat to the right.
Yeah, for those that care, I think my favorite characters was Kale playing support Garen, which was always hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Yes, right?
You play support Garen.
AP Phoenix Udyr and Jungle Hecarim.
You had a very mean Zillion too.
Zilla, which, oh yeah, the time dude. Oh, and let's not forget LeBlanc with the instant kills. Like I've had people like, "What happened?" Like they
where'd
just
you get go?
like they didn't see the little beacon thing, and they just show up and like, oh, clack, 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 and they're just dead. Like it was nothing but a flash of sparks and maybe a picture of LeBlanc, and she's gone.
She looks at you, she goes like that, and then vanishes, and you're dead.
I melted a volley bear hard that way, and he ran like I saw him blow his haste because you know how hard volley bear rolls as far as health is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, this isn't a League of Legends podcast, so
we're reminiscing of the Dark Ages.
Oh, yeah,
it's okay. They might get banned.
Really?
Yes. So the countering CCP Act that you guys just passed in the States, targeting, of course, TikTok being the big one. The other thing it targets is basically anything that has any possible remotely close affiliation with the Chinese Communist Party. Now, League of Legends is owned by Tencent.
You're right.
And Tencent is known and accused of, sorry, I won't say known, hasn't been proven in court of law. So alleged and accused of being a front for the CCP. So they could get banned. And DJI drones are also on that hit list, potentially. The U.S. Department of Defense has already banned them around any of their properties and banned them from purchase, because they're owned by a Chinese company. They make some of the best drones in the world.
If all the situation doesn't paint a big like paintbrush of America just being a bunch of xenophobic, racist assholes, I don't know what does.
Like, it's funny because there are sometimes valid security concerns. I get that.
But we have worse ones within our country. We have worse ones in our country. Facebook, I'm looking at you, the asshole.
Like, ours are much worse than anything China could do right now. But for some reason, they just love to paint China as the bad guy. China's doing this. China owns our ass. We owe China so much damn money.
Yeah, if they were to cash in all the bonds they owe or they own of U.S. Treasury bonds, That'd be fucking hilarious.
It would
Like,
be collapse.
It would cripple your economy.
Our old people just don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore, and they just needed another reason to piss everybody off. Let's blame China and get rid of TikTok because people are talking. That's the whole reason they're getting rid of it, assholes.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to try to get this stuff is going to be stuck in litigation and in the court system for so many years. TikTok's not going nowhere.
I wouldn't say it's going to be very, very, very long. I would say it's going to be probably a year at most in the court system because they've already made up their mind. It's just how they're going to force it to happen is a different story. So the TikTok itself is already fucked. Now, what they could do and what they'll likely end up doing is ByteDance will form an incorporated company called ByteDance USA, likely, which will be quote unquote independently owned, and transfer of ownership will happen that way to the incorporated company in the US or in another country. And, then it's going to be all fine and good. That's likely what they'll end up doing. It's what I speculate that they're looking at doing right now is a sort of, taking that sort of approach, because that way you can change the headquarters to, say, Ireland for more favorable taxes. Hello, HP, I see you. But then it's not running afoul of US law because it's not owned by a company that is China-based. And that's really all they care about. Is they don't care where in the world it is, so long as it's not a Chinese-based company.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I get it because there are a lot of issues. Like Google tried, if you remember, a number of years ago, they tried having Google open up into China. It lasted all of 3 years. They couldn't get around the Firewall of China, and they couldn't figure out a way to provide information without censorship. And that was their big concern. I think it was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Ironic that censorship is the key there. That's kind of funny. I think that's the hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy.
Well, honestly, Google doesn't censor a whole lot unless it's DMCA takedown. Unless there's a DMCA takedown issued against it, it generally doesn't take shit down. But it can bury results, but that's not censorship.
No, but what I'm getting at is what they're trying to do with TikTok right now is censorship.
Yeah,
because it's literally the only app that they can't control what people are saying.
Yeah, and what'll be interesting is if there's any adjacent companies that get taken down as well. And like I said, League of Legends is definitely a candidate because it is owned by a Chinese company. Anything that Tencent owns would be affected.
That's a lot of stuff in the Epic.
It is.
Epic in general, I think.
No, Epic Tencent only has a 10% stake in Epic, so it's not that big a deal if they have to sell it off. It would suck, but Tencent has 300-ish games they've invested in.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, that's going to be a very significant impact on a lot of things. And Riot, of course, being the big one. Fortnite's another one that Tencent has their fingers in.
Yep. That's what I meant, Epic, with the Fortnite thing.
Yep. The company Bluehole, which is known for PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, they have an 11.5% stake. Ubisoft, they've got a 5% stake. Activision Blizzard, they've got a 5%. Grinding Gear Games, who make Path of Exile, 80% stake. So
really,
if they're forced to divest, Path of Exile could just go. It could just be gone. Supercell, they make Clash of Clans, as far as I understand, and they've got an 84% stake. Platinum Games, the people behind Kenshi, Sato, and a couple other things, they've got an undisclosed amount. Same with Jaeger. They do Spec Ops: The Line. Frontier Development, which has done Elite Dangerous and Planet Zoo, that's a 9% stake. Kakao, don't know how to pronounce that. They do Black Desert Online and publishes PUBG in South Korea. That's a 14% stake. So they've got a lot of stuff. And then like Warhammer Vermintide 2, 36% stake, a 30% stake in Conan Exiles, 100% of Shark Mob, which does The Division, and the Hitman games.
They've got their fingers in a lot of pots.
They also have a $158 million funding agreement with Discord.
Huh. Well,
So
damn.
Tencent would be the likely target. Like if this goes through and TikTok is banned and ByteDance is banned from the US, I can see Tencent being hit hard. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of repercussions if they were to hit Tencent.
Just hitting TikTok alone is going to be a lot of repercussions just on the American front. Like if let's say just per se TikTok gets straight up banned because ByteDance says fuck you guys, we're not selling nothing, because the Chinese government already came up with laws to where they don't have to bend the knee to anybody, especially the US. Like they don't have to do jack shit.
Oh yeah, no, it just the company would be barred and all the properties would be barred from operating in the US, which
but
then
here's the thing. There's so many small businesses that work strictly
100%.
through TikTok.
Yeah, Crit was naming off a bunch of them and was talking about it as well.
Like it would cripple I'm gonna say a good third of the online industry right now by getting rid of TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, apparently Tencent at the time back in 2019 had bought 48% of all outstanding Epic Games shares, and they now have a 40% overall stake. So Epic is that's going to hurt if they're forced to divest. But yeah, no, I absolutely see Tencent being hit next if this is actually going to go through. And yeah, people are going to claim it's your free speech rights and yada yada yada. But the decision's been made, and I don't see it being
by Zuckerberg.
Yeah, because he stands to gain the most from Alphabet. But regardless, I don't see that kind of a decision being reversed if it were to go through. So it's going to be shitty when it happens, but I do see it happening. The best you could hope for is an injunction preventing it from happening right away and giving it something like 2-3 years to fully divest, which would then, like I said, likely end up with having a US or other NATO-friendly country-based location for a head office type thing.
Just put it in Singapore with the CEO and be done with it.
Just put it in Ireland to get way better tax incentives for a business.
That too.
Why do you think HP moved their head office out of the US?
Because the US... No, we're not going to get...
Okay.
I'm done being political for anything. Let's stop. I'm done.
I think Crit said something. We cut her off.
It's like, why did HP leave the US to get to the other side?
Ew.
To go poop in its home.
Oh. Yeah, like the HP left US shores officially as a headquarters because they get a friendlier tax rate in Ireland than they do in the States. And that's really funny when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and push forward here. We've got 2 more things to hit on, and then and they should be quick. So Roll20 looks like they have a beta app inside of Discord, and I think that affects Crit and Imee the most because I don't do any D&D, but I know that they do inside of Discord.
Yes.
The Cajun's still old school and actually has like actual materials like paper and character sheets and things.
I am unga bunga.
You must physically roll dice.
I have shiny click.
I have math rocks. I bought some math rocks. They're very, very awesome.
Where are my math rocks? I always have some near me.
He's looking for them right now in case anyone in the who's listening to this podcast. Oh, there you go. He found it. He found his dime bag of balls. I mean dice.
Shh. This is ASMR. Here we go.
That's not ASMR.
I'm ASMR your ass.
No, what's ASMR is hearing RAM chips hitting the ground. That's funny as hell.
Where is my gold dice? I am upset that I cannot find it.
Maybe it's with your Pokemon X.
Knowing Harrison, he probably hit him somewhere. Might beat his ass. With love, of course.
Yeah, because all beatings come with love.
That's it.
Anyway, if you're using Roll20, it's already a free service from what I understand. If you log in using their application, all of your character sheets, all your campaigns you currently have going, all transfer to the Discord app, which is kind of nice. So that way, instead of having to tab out and use a separate program, you can just do it right there in Discord, and all the good stuff happens. So that's great. And there was one more thing we needed to touch on, and that was here. Because we can't have an episode without talking about AI. There was a coach coordinator at a school in Baltimore that decided that he wanted to try to frame and incriminate the principal of the school by saying racist things by using the principal's voice in AI, and it was all for the challenge of accusing this coach of misappropriating funds. So that's one of the things we've actually talked about on this podcast is the idea of like just us sitting here talking is giving enough sample rate to have us say anything by any digital platform. It's also the same reason why I don't answer my phone anymore. If it's really important, they'll leave a voicemail. Right.
Yep.
So
I'm just too lazy to answer my phone. Fuck you. Send me a text.
Yeah, there you go. So that's all. That's what been one of my biggest fears is people making you say things you're not supposed to. We've already experienced a lot of that with deep fakes of celebrities doing things that they shouldn't be doing, imposed upon other actresses in the skin industry. I'll just call it skin industry. So
You can say the porn industry.
oh, okay, yeah, the porn industry.
Or the adult entertainment industry.
There you
Either
go.
or works.
Yep, I know. Like I think the last big one was what, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and rightly so. She lost her goddamn mind.
Oh yeah,
She went that shit over it, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, and deservedly so.
Absolutely. The first big one was what, Pokimane? And
Yeah, I
then,
think so. Yeah.
and then it went to Taylor after that, and Taylor just, she was none too happy.
The thing that I really like about Taylor Swift is that she has the power to affect change. Whether you like the change or not is irrelevant, but she has the ability to affect positive, lasting change. And sometimes, yes, her fan base is a little too rabid and gets things wrong. But
I'm married to a
overall,
Swiftie, I know.
what's that?
I'm married to a Swiftie, I know.
But overall, they have that ability to promote change, and that's a good thing. So hopefully, she can get some positive, lasting change to protect others, because at least she's got the money and the ability to sit there and be like, I will take you to court forever, and you will just die in court.
So,
But not everyone
Nord,
has.
Yes.
did she see the Meat Canyon video?
Oh no.
No. I'm afraid to ever show her any Meat Canyon stuff because I don't know how she would react.
No, just no.
I am the proud owner of a Meat Canyon Waifu Cup. I'm looking forward to getting that in along
I
with.
saw that, dude. That back end is
Damn,
freaky, dude.
So I sent a message to Meat Canyon as well, or Papa Meat, I think is the Twitter handle, and I was like, I bought your cup. I can't wait to mix my grandpa's ashes in it, which is a flavor of Gamer Subs, which sounds morbid.
So
AF.
bad. It sounds so bad. It's so funny.
I mean, for us, that's just on par. And for me specifically, it's on par for all the war crimes I cause in various video games.
Mhm.
Other than that, let's get our roundtable out of the way.
Yes.
We know that Crit and Imi had grand adventures in the coastal and swamplands of Florida. So what happened? Did you do anything fun? What was your favorite part other than being together?
I helped her family set up a pool in the backyard. I've never done one of those things before.
It's going to come in handy considering it's going to get up to 94 degrees next Sunday.
For those of us who use real numbers, that's around like 30 something. We don't use freedom fractions.
We're talking freedom units here, sir.
No, we don't use freedom fractions. We use real numbers.
How many cheeseburgers per bullets is that?
Yeah. What was the other measurement I've heard? It's eagles per gun.
Yes.
That was eagles per freedom. I can't remember. It's one of those two. It's a very obscure measurement that hardly anyone uses anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean, you guys will measure everything and anything in everything but the metric system.
Unless you're a gym rat, then you do work in kilograms.
Or you're a dealer, because then everything's done in grams.
I only have experience of one of those things.
I have declared the best way to cook is by using the metric system, and I told that to Dank because he was wondering about pancake recipes for red velvet. He wanted to try it. I found one, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know what any of this means." So
yeah, I saw that recipe. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I could do that." And he's like, "I don't understand any of this." I'm like, "Oh, you're normal and not like in some weird hybrid land like me."
Yeah, where it could go metric or imperial at any given
we
moment.
We go both ways, baby.
That's all right, depending on attitude and mood. Crit, what was your favorite part about the trip other than the poo?
Uh,
The poo? What?
The pool.
Pool.
Oh, pool. I heard poo. I'm like, what?
Well, I saw
The
them
L,
slang.
the L was silent.
I mean,
there
like,
wasn't
I've
any
heard.
poo, but he is a shit. Go for it, Cajun.
Anyway,
And
yes.
2 shots now, Cajun.
I'm
Oh,
just
snap.
sipping the whole time.
There's a difference between sipping and shots, sir.
I already took 2 shots. You
Well,
barcode.
you
Shot,
gotta
shot,
do
shot,
more.
shot, 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 shot.
I can't think of that song without thinking of doing squats to the beat of that song while wearing full battle rattle.
Careful, you only haven't
Oh,
drinking too much, or it'll have sharts, and it'll be sharts.
I had
Yeah.
to do PT to that song, but we were doing squats to the beat, and every time that chorus came on, we had to be doing squats. It fucking hurt.
That must have been terrible on the knees.
It was not pleasant. That's for damn sure. 0 for 10. Do not recommend.
All right, here we go. Shot of magic liquid.
A refreshment and
Yeah. Here's to you. Here's to me. Should we ever disagree? Fuck you. I'm right. Here's to me.
well, you should be drinking one to the king, one to the unit, one to the fallen, and one just because you want to drink one.
I went
One for the brack.
Yes,
down.
and one for the brack.
The up was for the brack, the down was for us, and the back was for me.
There you go. So, but yeah. So, did we ever find out what Crit liked other than the pool?
No, we had to make Nor take another shot before we found out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. No, but I just, in general, I couldn't complain on just spending time with him. Honestly, just watching live PD, I mean, on patrol live and stuff like that. Cuddling up in bed, going to, the park, and my son taking pictures of us, and I'm taking pictures of them. My son's like trying to get into photography, but he couldn't figure out the autofocus stuff.
That's kind of important.
Family things.
That's good. So that means there's actual pictures of Amy in his borrowed skin suit in places. That's kind of
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, touching
I
grass.
obtained that thing
Actually
legally.
touching grass.
Yes.
There's air quotes around illegally.
No, the volunteer, certainly not a victim, provided me the skin suit willingly, just as much as I have added the volunteer's hands to my hand collection, so I can throw hands literally.
Hand cannon.
Handarangs.
Yes. Handarangs. Ooh,
No,
actually,
so-
let me see if they could stick that way.
The only other thing that I've done was trying to orchestrate that whole cameo thing with Andy Merrill. So
That was fantastic, by the way.
Mm-hmm. That was
Yeah.
amazing. Core memory unlocked.
Yeah, no, that was brilliant. I never thought I would hear Brack say my name. That was cool.
I never thought I'd hear Brack sing to me.
Unfortunately,
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
yeah, that's fantastic. I love it.
I gotta hear your wifey's reaction to that. I just gotta know.
I'll figure it out.
Words were said.
There was many things I was going to say, but none of them came out the right way.
If you can wait till tomorrow, I'm actually going to cut out the section where we all watched it and commented on it. So, and that's assuming that my computer didn't take a shit and wasn't writing to my SSD at that time. It said that it was recording locally, so we'll see. I don't have a lot of faith in the Twitch VOD at this particular point.
Nah, Twitch is busted.
Say your reaction went all out your butt. Oh.
Damn it. God damn it.
All right. So
the elevator.
I'm gonna take the escalator.
This is the longest one ever.
As far as the Ordinary Nights, what work for me has been crazy, and I have been coming in late, but I have been joining Cajun on his streams without streaming myself, because there's no point in me starting stream at like 9:30 at night. Then I'm only going to stream for like an hour and be like, I'm too tired because life sucks. But Cajun this week was doing a special Iron Man challenge that was like part Nuzlocke, part frustration.
Like, Crit was there the entire time. It was a struggle. We went through 20 attempts already, and we're on the 21st attempt. We finally got a mon that could take it all the way. For those of y'all who know anything about Pokemon, the Ironmon Kaizo is the hardest challenge you can do in any Pokemon game. You get one Pokemon chosen in the beginning that you got to take through the entire game in a game that's been modified to have all of the AI think smarter, have all of the trainers be stronger by like 50%. And the only way you can get experience is by beating said trainers. All items are randomized. You can't shop. You can't heal once you enter a dungeon. You can't leave a gym once you walk in. If you die, you start the whole bitch over. That's just the ground rules. And
Ground rules. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that you beat Bra. Sorry.
Stop. I have to work tomorrow.
No, okay. You're reprieved this week. You could just
That was my
bowl it
last
over to
one.
next week.
Yeah, we'll put it on my tab for next week.
What would you like to attempt this week, Cajun?
Let's see. Tuesday, I'm probably going to continue the Ironmon because we're at a point where I can actually continue on without just restarting constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, I am going to do art night. I'm going to do pixel art. And thanks to some stuff that happened tonight, I think I know what the target audience is going to be. I am going to do some coast to coast pixel art on Wednesday.
Fantastic, sir.
And then I'm going to send it to
homage to Brack.
Mm-hmm. Send like a little small thank you. Since you orchestrated it all, but he serenaded my ass, so I need to give him a thank you somehow. So I'm gonna do that for him. And then Thursday, I'm either going to continue on with the Ironmon, or if I got to a point where I need to breathe and not think, I might just do I might start the shiny badge quest on Thursday with Pokemon X. Or if Lumi gets home on a decent time and actually gets to breathe on one of those nights, we can do some jolly cooperation. That just depends on if they whoop your ass again this week.
Well, technically, I'm already at home. I don't have the right laptop out. So
you know what I meant.
But
because I know they whooped your ass last week. I didn't see you, but I could feel it.
Yeah, no, like you got the full brunt of like Lumi defeated. Like I felt that like Monday I could not be brought down. I come back off 2-week vacation of watching like 18 seasons of whatever anime was currently out. I've seen so many isekais over the last 2 weeks. It's not even funny.
I've been having so much fun with these isekais, dude. Like the one I showed you today. Oh my god, it was so cute.
And it was really nice to keep up with Serafina with a lot of it. Just like speaking of Serafina, thank you for the hydrate. Everybody take a drink. I mean, but other than that, I haven't done any game development, anything, mostly because some other events that happened during the vacation, like my poor doggo, I had to go take care of him. And not like, out to pasture or anything, but he's my buddy, he's my friend. You got to take care of your furry friends, right? So he's doing okay now. Spending time with the kids, just doing stuff that I like. I have, though, joined Pirate Software's Discord server, and I've been spending a lot of time in the programming section of that, and it's been quite fruitful. I've been quite helpful to folks there, so by all means, if you ever show up there, a lot of great folks spanning multiple different disciplines across different programming languages, Rust being the most prolific, but other folks, they even have like their own special channels for which integrated development environment is better than the other, and language wars, for those folks that are like, ain't nothing better than C, and other folks are like, yeah, but I like getting stuff done, so Python. So, shots fired. Yeah, sure, you're fast, but I've already released. So,
phrasing, sir.
Yeah. Other than that, we're trying to keep a better cadence on the podcast. I don't work on weekends yet. That being said, we'll see you next week, episode 64. I think that I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, charge my headset. I'll be back on and hanging out in either the theater or in the game room playing some video game, or I might just do the editing tonight so I can cut out the Brack cameo. So that way Crit can decide what to do with it. Before we actually distribute that publicly and I get that pre-show out, do find out if we can actually post that.
We can't have it on anything that's monetized.
Oh, I'm not monetized anywhere except for here, so we kind of already fucked up. I'm not monetized on Twitter.
Well, so technically you didn't fuck up because Twitch fucked up. So technically it didn't air on Twitch.
God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
So Because when I came back, I saw one face of Brock, and then the whole street.
You're licensed to use it for your own personal, non-commercial, and non-promotional purposes. It is a revocable license, but you're allowed to reproduce and distribute it publicly, that video, in any and all media, like social media platforms, whether now or hereafter invented or devised. Ooh.
Okay,
You
so
cannot
I
turn
could
it into an NFT. You cannot turn any of the cameos into NFTs.
oh, okay.
Yeah, they will actually come to your door,
Darn.
skin you alive, and then consume whatever's left.
So they're worse than the Pinkertons. Nice.
They will feed.
They're
they will
worse
feed you
than
the
Disney
rats.
lawyers. Let's not kid ourselves.
And
Right.
I put it as, I put the link out there to his cameo.
Mhm.
I said, if you guys want to see it, I said, I'm not going to promote the video specifically on my page, but I'm going to draw attention to Andy's personal cameo. If you want to see it, go there, follow him on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok while you're at it. Appreciate your voice actors. I'd only post it if he lets me, but I'd much rather draw more traffic to him. Don't miss his updates. Also, he does have a YouTube. Slap the subscribe button, and if you get to Twitch, do that too.
Oh, the other part about this is that technically we just created a reaction video.
We
Fair.
did.
Yeah,
Because we were
so
off the bottom.
that's transformative.
Yep.
So that's fine.
good.
Whatever it is, I'm not monetized anywhere except for here on Twitch anyway. So
We gooch.
So other than that, yep, episode 64 next week. See you guys, same bite time, same bite channel.
Woo!
And also, don't forget, we're only a few away from the funny number.
Number.
Five episodes away from nice.
Be awesome, stay classy, and remember.
Don't be
Just because you have one doesn't mean you have to be one.
Also,
Sir,
stop bracking the internet.
Well, don't be a dick.
don't be